Here we are again. You've come to the right place. So we're just heading on down that long and lonesome road. And another Trippy Food live stream. So this is actually by popular demand because you asked us to. This is a continuation of last week's live stream in which we were doing our Val's top fives. So we came up with lists of top fives for food and travel. And that's pretty much what we're going to cover. We're going to cover and we have a bunch of snacks and beverages as usual. We just didn't tell you what that was because that's kind of secondary to the list. But again, by popular demand, because you requested it, we have decided that we are going to extend that. And this week we are going to do the second part of our Val's top fives. I think, even if we have some stuff left over, we might just stop it here and everything. Unless you guys really, really like it and you want to do them this week. I mean, we want to do it ongoing for a little while until we run out of top five lists. We can do that. Hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. It is Saturday in most places. Might be Sunday in some places. I think it probably is, like Australia, probably Sunday already. But hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Hope you're all having. Jared has just entered the room. Welcome, Jared. There may not be as many people on the stream today, only because we started an hour early. So I tried to hold off to the last minute to send out notifications that we were going to actually start at noon. Only because I thought if I told everybody we were going to start at noon on Wednesday, they'd forget and they'd try to come in at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But I sent out the notifications, so hopefully people will get them and people will show up. So no Tom in the room yet, no Janice in the room yet. They may have just not seen the notifications and they'll jump in the second hour. Hi, Cookie. How you doing? Well, I mean, is it okay if I call you Cookie? Your name is Cookie, so I'll just call you Cookie. But welcome. Where's Mommy? Hey, John has entered the room. John King. Welcome back, John King. And Ryan Jones. This is weird, Val, but I'm on the ball. You are on the ball, Jared. You were the first one in the room. So welcome, Jared. Doodle's all excited because I started talking to the computer. And he always knows that means snacks. But I am armed with Doodle snacks. So, and these for those who don't know what I'm giving him for snack, these are from Trader Joe's. They're chicken tenders. The only ingredient is chicken. I think they bake it. It's just baked chicken. That's all it is. So good for him. Even I sneak a taste every once in a while. But yeah, I feel good about that as opposed to giving him snacks with all kinds of junk in it and everything. So these are pretty good for him. Here you go, dude. You want that? Of course you want that. Let's see if he goes on the other room. Yes, he does. There's a carpet out in the living room, and he likes to sit on the carpet while he eats his chicken snacks. So I don't know, go figure. And then he comes back. So, hey, Brandy is back. Welcome back, Brandy. Good to see you again. Glad you could make it. So as far as the beverages that we're doing today, there's some very unusual beverages. Our adult beverage is going to be unusual. It's not a beer. It's not actually, it defies classification. So we'll get to that shortly. We do have a soft drink, and I'm not sure if I classify this as a snack or a soft drink, but we have Mount Olive Pickle Shots. They're calling them pickle juicers. It is dill pickle brine, 100% kosher dill pickle brine. So we're gonna do one of those. It looks like it comes in one of those little containers like the 5-hour energy drinks, but it's not. So we got a bunch of snacks here. We'll kind of go through it as we go through our list. Let's see. What am I drinking right now, Val? Right now, you are drinking let's see. You are drinking a Bud Ice right now, John. That's my guess. And I'm sticking to it. Okay, so let's see. We get we'll just kind of go. Let's see how many we got. 5 people in the room. I think 5 people. So we'll wait another about 10 minutes or so. I do want to let's see, how many lists do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. We might get to all of them. We might not, but we'll see. And then we have I think 6 snacks. If you count the pickle juice as a snack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you count the pickle juice as a snack, it's 7. We might even get to all the snacks today. So we have a firm cutoff at 2 p.m. now, which is why we had to do the show an hour earlier. So just want to let you guys know firm cutoff at 2 p.m. I don't see Tom in the room, so when Tom comes in the room, we will ask him if he's going to be doing his live stream. Typically, it's 2 hours after our show, but remember today it'll be 3 hours after our show, 5 p.m. Central. Anyone tried the Starlight Coke flavor? I have seen people, Brandy. I have seen people post that they've tried the Starlight Coke flavor, but I think it's mostly been the Canadians. I've seen a lot of the Canadian YouTubers doing the Starlight Coke flavor, but one of the things that's coming up at the end of the month is the Pepsi Turbo. So I don't know if you guys heard about that, but Pepsi's coming out with a Pepsi Turbo. So let's see if there's details here on this thing on Pepsi Turbo. What the company describes its most ambitious feat yet, Pepsi announced Wednesday, first of its kind, nitrogen-infused cola that has a creamier and smoother taste compared to traditional carbonated sodas. The beverage, called Nitro Pepsi, is being released in the United States on March 28th and comes in regular and vanilla flavors. I'm going to stick with a regular one. The vanilla ones, like even the vanilla Coke, I'm not really crazy about. It's just, I don't know, too artificial. So yeah, that's coming up, and we will do that. We will get that as soon as we can get that, and we'll either do we will either do a episode or do it on live stream. So one or the other. I am correct. Wow, John, mark that down because I'm usually not. So that's pretty. Jared, you bought it. Oh, cool. So everybody, Jared Jared has the new Starlight Coke, and he's going to open it up, and he's going to tell us all while we're on the live stream how he's doing. Let's see. Yeah, 12 seconds. Yeah, we'll get a couple more minutes before we start. We got a lot of stuff to do. I think actually I'll start with our adult beverages because it's really interesting. Well, no, we'll hold off on that. We'll start with our non-alcoholic beverage, our soft drink. We'll start off with that. Yes, it is Doodle. So John, I had given him a snack, and he went out in the other room to eat it. But I guess he ate it, and he's back. I don't know if he wants more snacks. He definitely wants attention. It's Doodle, the Prince of Dogness. Doodle, say hi to everybody. They're over there. I think that's the best we're going to get from him. So he's a good boy. Doodle's a good boy. We tried the Starlight yesterday. It's interesting flavor. Well, what is different about Starlight? I mean, I've seen it, but I really haven't paid a lot of attention to it. So what is different about Starlight Coke? This is where you get to tell me. You get to tell me because you've had it before I've had it. Well, Jared's having it now. So it's just a different formula of Coke. Is that what it is? I mean, they must be doing it's Coke Zero, correct? So it's no sugar in it. I think it's Coke Zero, but the flavor, I guess, is the thing. So all right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open up our soft drink. I'm gonna call it a soft drink. This one's really unusual. So this is in a can, but it is not a soda. It is an Agua Fresca. It says real fruit Agua Fresca. So it's really, really unusual to see an Agua Fresca in a can. For those of you who don't know what Agua Fresca is, I mean, in Spanish, it's what? Fresh water, I think is what it amounts to in Spanish. If you go to Latin American markets or festivals or things like that, you usually see them. They have these huge plastic things that look like barrels, but they're usually clear. They have ice in them, and they have different colored beverages in it, and that's usually Agua Fresca. So basically, they mix water and different fruit juices together. I don't know that they add a bunch of other stuff to it. Usually, they have horchata there, but then they have like flavors like mango, guava, strawberry, watermelon, and they're really, really good. They're really, really good, especially the homemade ones. So it's really unusual to see that in a can. But the brand is Agua Bonita, which means good water, real fruit, Agua Fresca. Let's see what they put in it. Ingredients: filtered water, apple juice, pineapple juice. That kind of drives me nuts because it says, no, the flavor is pineapple cucumber, so that's okay. I don't know why they put apple juice in it though. So it says ingredients are filtered water, apple juice, pineapple juice, natural flavors. It doesn't say cucumber. That's odd. So let's go ahead and open this up. and then we'll get started on our lists. Flavor type, it's cream soda meets cotton candy with strawberry mashup. That's bizarre. Tastes like cotton candy. So it's really sweet. It's a Coke Zero, but it's really sweet. That's weird. I'm not really a big fan of like really, really sweet stuff, especially cotton candy. I can't stand cotton candy, but I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to try it. This is not carbonated, as you can plainly see. It looks like an Agua Fresca. I mean, typically that looks like what an Agua Fresca looks like. The thing that bothers me is the apple juice. I don't know why they put it in there. It's pineapple cucumber. Just leave it at pineapple and cucumber and be done with it. Cheers. It smells like pineapple. Hello, Ari. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Glad you could join us today. Apparently, you got the memo. We started an hour early. That's interesting. So it has that, I know that pineapple has a lot of acid in it, and so it has that kind of tanginess to it, but it doesn't taste like tanginess from, it tastes like citric acid. Maybe there's citric acid in pineapple and everything, but it tastes like that kind of citric acid tang. It just says natural flavors. It doesn't say what's in it. It's from concentrate. It's really hard to taste the cucumber in there. It's pretty good. The thing is, your mind, because I opened a can, your mind kind of goes to, you know, having bubbles in it, having you know, carbonation in it, and it doesn't. So it kind of throws people off a little bit. But it tastes fresh. It tastes natural. It's not overly sweet, because they don't add sugar to it. That's pretty good. That's a thumbs up. That's a thumbs way up. All right, so let's get into our lists. Might as well get started. We're pretty close to quarter after anyways. So we're going to start with our top 5 cheeses. Now, again, I'll just remind everybody that as we go through these top 5 lists, it was very, very difficult to narrow it down to 5, right? I mean, from my standpoint, you know, in some cases, I could do 20. I could do 20. And they're not really in any particular order, unless I mentioned that they're in a particular order because it just wowed me for some reason. Like, oh my God, this is like life-changing, God tier, you know, whatever. So other than that, it's not really in any particular order. So I did that. I did top, even though I say top 5, it's top 5 out of maybe 20 or something like that. And they're not in any particular order. So if I say number one is not the best and number 5 is not the best or the worst or whatever. It's just, I just grabbed top 5 out of however many in there. And then I followed off with bottom of the barrel. And bottom of the barrel is my least favorite. And again, I'm going to go back and remind everybody that here at Trippy Food, we don't use the term best because best requires that you have a criteria, and it's a criteria that everybody, you know, that anyone who is judging it can use. So you can say, well, the criteria is based on texture, taste, saltiness, you know, firmness, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have to have a criteria if you're going to say best. And most places, it's just basically clickbait, right? So Mashed or someplace like that, they'll post something and they go like the best burgers in the U.S. and everything. They're not the best. They're their favorites, or they're the ones that they, you know, the most popular. They're not the best, but they get you to click on it. A lot of times what they do is they try to get you to click on it because you disagree with them. So they say, this is the best list. And then they get you to look at the list because they know you're going to disagree with them and go like, what happened to this? What happened to this? What happened to this? And they, you know, that's how they get you to click through it and to click, you know, to see the ads that are actually paying for it. So that's kind of like I always have doubts when somebody says best of. I don't use that. So I say favorite, or this is my top 5. My top 5. It won't be your top 5. And again, just like last week, I encourage you to, you know, to throw out things that are not on my list, but maybe on yours. That may be, and you know, we can talk a little about them. So let's do that. So again, top 5 cheeses, and they should have a drum roll or something, right? Like they used to do on David Letterman. But anyways, top 5 cheeses. Number 1, not in that order, but number 1 is Fleur du Maquis. And Fleur du Maquis is it's a brie that's made with Corsican sheep's milk. But the distinguishing factor is that it has mold all over the rind. So all over the outside, there's thick, fuzzy mold. They also put stuff like peppercorns and things like that on there, and even peppers on the top of it. But it does have a thick, fuzzy mold, and you can eat that. It's a edible mold. It's not anything that's going to be harmful or anything. But it's just the texture and the flavor that the mold gives to the cheese when you eat it with the rind and everything is pretty. Doodle's going crazy over here. Come here, Doodle. Come here. Come here. Don't go crazy. It's okay. It's all right. So it's a very, very interesting cheese. It's hard to find. The first time I had it was at HEB Central Market. I think they call it Grand Central Market, maybe Central Market, in Austin, Texas. They had 2 locations. They called them Central Market, and they had this very, very well stocked cheese. Let's say cheese shop. It's part of HEB Central Market. And that was the first place I saw Fleur de Maquis. And the first time I tried it, it's like I had to continue to try it. So it was like, yeah, maybe like once a month I would go there and get more Fleur de Maquis. So one of my favorite cheeses. But like I said, has the cheese on the rind. I mean the mold on the rind. It's like really, really interesting. Number 2, Guajara Con Malaro, and that is actually it's kind of a dish in Colombia. It is a fresh curdled sheep's milk cheese. A lot of that cheese comes from the cheese producing region is Butte. It's a town, but they create most of the cheeses in Colombia. But it's a very firm cheese, and they top it with panela. And panela is sort of like if you're familiar with piloncillo, which is a Mexican. It's shaped like a cone, and it's kind of like raw sugar cane. That's just kind of like it's a liquid, and then it hardens down, and you kind of grind it off as you need it. So panela is kind of the same deal in Colombia. And basically, what you do is you just shave some of that off, and it's like mix it with water, and you put it on top of that cheese. The cheese is like this really squeaky, fresh cheese. It's just really, really good. So that's number 2. Let's see. Ari says, I like cheese best when it's multiple types blended as opposed to just having one. Yeah. And the thing about like American cheese, is people diss on American cheese a lot. The thing about American cheese is it is a blend of other cheeses. There's some cheddar in there. There's some Colby, I think, and brick cheese. They also, I think they do use oil, some vegetable oil, and mix it with that so that it melts better. Which is why people kind of turn their nose down on American cheese and everything. But it is actually the cheese part of it is actually a blend of different cheeses. Brandy likes blue, feta, brie, triple X sharp cheddar, the real sharp cheddar. I love that too. And provolone. Provolone is like if you're making an Italian dish and everything, it's hey, Janice has just walked into the room. Welcome, Janice. Good to see you again. Let's see, Eli. Yes, early stream, Eli. I sent out notifications today because I didn't want to send it out midweek and then have everybody forget. So I did send it out today. I don't know if everybody got it or not. We have kind of a low number of people in the room. It's like 9, but maybe they'll pick up. And we still have another hour after this one. So, Applebee, where is Matt? Well, Matt is. I don't know where Matt is. He's not here. He may be doing a live stream on his channel. Saturday's a big day for doing live streams. But thank you for stopping by, Applebee. This is Trippy Food. We do a lot of stuff with Matt, but he's, maybe someday we will do a special treat and we will get Matt on a live stream. We'll have Matt sit in on one of our live streams. That'd be kind of cool. Applebee, I do not recognize your name. So this is the first time I've seen you in the chat, unless, I just forgot, and I'm getting old and cranky and forgetful. So Applebee, what brings you to Trippy Food, and where are you from? So, closest metropolitan city. You don't need to give street addresses or anything like that. We really don't want that. And Jessica Stanton has, let's see, Jessica, I didn't notice you before. Oh, okay, because your avatar looks just like Jared's. That's why I thought I saw you before. But welcome, Jessica. Good to see you again. Let's see, did I miss anybody? You got people popping in now. I think you should do a live stream with Matt. Well, I think I just said that, but I think I said it after you were posting at the same time I said that. So I agree with you. As far as doing one on reckless eating, I don't know. Next time you're on one of Matt's live streams, just pop in there and go, you should get Val on live stream. And then I'll do one of theirs. And then Matt has a standing invitation always to come over here. So, but I know he's always busy. He's probably streaming today himself. Have you seen your stepson Chris lately? I have not. The last time I saw Chris was, I don't think he was at Matt's when we were doing some filming there. I think the last time I saw him might have been when we went to San Francisco. So I have not seen him lately, but hope to soon. Hey, Tybalt is in the room. Yes, Tybalt. So far, I'm doing well. I can't speak for everybody else, so why don't you guys tell Tybalt how you're doing? Good to see you, Tybalt. Okay, number 3 on the list, Cheddar Curds. Now, I'm trying to remember if Brandy said Cheddar Curds. She said sharp cheddar, but not curds. Cheddar Curds. You need Cheddar Curds if you're going to make a good poutine. And sometimes I just like eating them right out of the bag. So if you're in Canada, like you're on the road and you stop in a convenience store or a gas station, you can buy bags of Cheddar Curds right on the counter. You're on a road trip, just pop those Cheddar Curds in your mouth. So good. Number 4, brunost or mysost, I think it's called. It's a Scandinavian. It's not technically a cheese. It's made from whey, milk, and cream boiled together, and it is a brown color, and it's very creamy. So we did a Trippy food episode on it. So check that out. It's like the color of caramel, and it almost has that kind of caramel sweetness to it. But it's really, really interesting and good. And number 5, Red Apple brand Scorpion Pepper Gouda. So if you're going to make something and you want some like hot cheese rather than just do like a pepper jack cheese or something, Red Apple brand Scorpion Pepper Gouda. I'm not sure who carries it because I don't see it in a lot of the major groceries and everything. Where I find it locally is at Vallarta, which is a local Latin American grocery. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it has a kick. I was doing, we were filming something with Tom, old guy in Colorado. I think it was the burger ring that we were making, the burger ring. And we decided we were going to use a hot cheese. And so I used that, the Scorpion Pepper cheese, the Scorpion Pepper Gouda. And so what happened was I had it cut for insertion into the ring, and Doodle came up to the table and grabbed a piece of the cheese and ran off with it. Well, he was licking his face for like half an hour after that. So I think he learned, let's not just grab a piece of cheese off the table because it could be, laced with capsaicin. So he didn't do that. So those are my top 5 cheeses. In the bottom of the barrel, Kraft American slices. Now I will say this with a caveat, right? Kraft American slices, again, because it has the oil in it and everything, it's just like, it doesn't really satisfy from a cheese standpoint. So if you're going to make like a ham and cheese sandwich, not good in a ham and cheese sandwich. However, it is awesome in a grilled cheese sandwich, or it is also awesome on a burger because of the way it melts, right? So the way it melts, sometimes it's just like a burger with a slice of American cheese on it, just simple perfection, right? So that's the caveat. The bottom of the barrel, but if you use it like you would use regular cheese, like a ham and cheese sandwich and everything, American cheese is not good. And specifically Kraft American cheese. They're all about the same anyways. But they are invaluable for something like on a burger or a grilled cheese sandwich because of the way they melt. So yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Feel bad reading poutine because of what's going on in the world. Because I'm probably I think the pronunciation is pretty close to the same. So Appleby, I will just, let's just say I'll caution you and anybody else who might be new to the room. So as far as our live stream goes, 2 things that we don't talk about. One is politics, one is religion. And the reason we don't talk about that is because everybody has a different opinion of it. Nobody sees eye to eye on it. And it could end up in a 2-hour discussion on just that. And then, we do food and travel, right? I understand that right now there are events happening around the world or in other places, specific places in the world that are very, very serious. And I don't want to lose sight of that. And but again, what we want to do here is 2 hours of kind of escape from that for a short period of time and just talk about food and travel. So that's kind of our guideline. The other thing is that we are not a family channel, but we are family friendly. So we have a lot of people who watch the live stream with their kids. And so we just try to keep it family friendly. You can slip in those double entendre things every once in a while. They'll probably be okay and everything. But let's just like be cool with language and stuff like that. And again, it's just because people are watching that. This is one of those live streams that people like to sit and watch with their kids. And so I just want to keep it kid friendly, not necessarily, for specifically targeted towards kids, but kid friendly. And so those are our kind of guidelines. So just, oh, no, Appleby, you didn't really go there. I think it was just kind of like, you were just mentioning that. That's cool. But just mentioning it going forward that, we get sidetracked talking about stuff like that, and there goes our 2 hours, and we haven't gone to any snacks or talked about any list or anything like that. So just want to let you know. Other than that, welcome. Hey, everybody, please give Appleby a warm and hearty Trippy food welcome. So glad. No, don't worry. Yeah, no worry. Hey, let me try that in English. Mean Metal Mike has entered the room. Welcome, Mean Metal Mike. Have you tried peanut butter and mustard sandwich and jelly and mayonnaise for a weird video? Is that a thing, Mike, or did you kind of like put that together? Is that something that you put together? It's just like I've never heard of that before, not even in a meme. It's kind of crazy. I think we've done combinations of those, but just never all together. So I know that with Matt, we did peanut butter and mayonnaise. We've had burgers with peanut butter and jelly. So I don't know. I mean, it's an odd combination, but is Mike, is that just a suggestion, or did you actually see that like as a meme somewhere or something? Hey, Matt Zion said, subscribe if you like weird food challenges. Subscribe to what? To Reckless Eating or to our channel? Okay. Yeah, subscribe. Cool. Thank you, Joshua Maxwell, whose name I don't recognize. Joshua, what brings you to our channel? I've not seen you before, but it could be old age as well. And it could be me not remembering. So what brings you here, and where are you from, Joshua? Good to see you. A suggestion. Okay, me little Mike. I will take that. That sounds like something that I need to unleash on Matt. So next time Matt and I get together, maybe we'll do that. Peanut butter and mustard and jelly and mayonnaise. That is weird. I mean, I think the key is going to be what kind of bread you put on there. That is bizarre. Maybe we should put a slice of cheese on there too. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Put a slice of cheese and grill it. What do you think, Mike? Does that work too? We'll put a slice of cheese on it and grill the whole thing. What do you think? It's just an idea. Well, Brandy, I have leftover pepper jelly from when Matt was here. We used I think it was the banana hot dog. We put pepper jelly on it. And that was really good. So maybe I think we put that on that. Doodle is being too adorable today. Doodle is being too adorable every day, Amy. He just is a little bit needy today. So, I wanted to bring him up here so he could, get some neediness out. And by the way, welcome to the room, Amy. Amy Cakey has entered the room. I heard a slice of American cheese on apple pie is supposed to be good. I've never had American cheese on apple pie. I suppose for the same reason, like if it's a hot apple pie, you want it to melt on there. But I've had cheddar on apple pie, which is a thing. It's a real thing. So if you go back, I want to say it was last year. It was either last year or the year before. I think it was our 4th of July episode, our Independence Day episode, where we went to Julian, California, and we went to the Julian Pie Company, and you have an option of getting cheddar cheese with your pie, and they just put the cheddar cheese right on top of the pie. So yeah, I've never heard of American cheese on top of the pie, but cheddar cheese for sure. Use provolone cheese. That sounds good. That would be really good in that sandwich is provolone cheese. I think we'll do that. We will definitely do that. Mean Metal Mike. We will do that with Matt. Reckless Eating said I should subscribe to your channel, Strange and Trippy. Well, Joshua, I will give you to the rest of the live stream to decide whether that's the case. Or, if you want to peruse through our myriad of episodes, you can do that as well. Val, do you like capirotada? I'm going to pronounce that right. Capirotada. Eli, I've never heard of capirotada. What exactly is that? How is that I've never heard of that? I've never heard of capirotada. Let me know what that is. We'll check that out. Okay, so let's see. Well, let's do another list, and then we'll open up a snack. So the next top 5 is our top 5 natural areas. So number 1 on there is Silver Falls State Park in Sublimity. That's its name, Sublimity. Silver Falls State Park in Sublimity, Oregon. Now, the cool thing about Silver Falls State Park is I think it's nicknamed 10 Falls State Park because there are 10 waterfalls. I think there's actually more than 10 waterfalls, but there's a 5-mile hike. There's a trail that goes through there, and you pass by some waterfalls, or a lot of the waterfalls that are there. Some of them have names, and some of them are just like kind of natural waterfalls, just, you know, maybe like 5 or 7 feet tall or something like that. But the cool thing is that there are, I think, 2 waterfalls on that trail, on that hike, where you can actually go behind the waterfall. So yeah, the trail goes actually behind the waterfall. It is the coolest thing ever. So if you're ever in Oregon, it's about, I want to say it's about an hour out of Portland. Silver Falls State Park, also called 10 Falls. It's awesome, and check it out. Number 2, Badlands National Park in South Dakota, and there's not a city there because it's this whole wide area. They call it Badlands because it's pretty much barren. The interesting thing is that there's a wide variety of kind of landscapes. So some you have like really interesting rock formations, and sometimes it's just prairie and big open space and everything. But it is actually absolutely breathtaking and beautiful in its desolation. So I remember going out there when I went to Rapid City. It's a short, maybe an hour and a half out of Rapid City, and just standing in the middle of the Badlands and nobody else for miles, and just that feeling of desolation and everything. But it's a really, really stark beauty and everything. Badlands National Park, South Dakota. Number 3, Alabama Hills, Mount Whitney, Inyo County, California. So this is up in the Sierras, and Alabama Hills is at the foothills of Mount Whitney. And if you don't know what Mount Whitney is the tallest mountain in the contiguous 48 states. And then at the foot of it is Alabama Hills. And Alabama Hills has a lot of really, really strange and weird rock formations. I don't think we've ever done a Trippy Food episode. We should go out there and check that out. But it's up in the Sierras. They do a lot of filming there, especially things that like are supposed to take place in outer space and everything, just because the weird rock formations, and there's not a lot of foliage out there. So you may have seen Alabama Hills in a lot of, I'm trying to remember, there was just one thing I watched the other day where I saw that it was Alabama. Oh no, Tremors, the movie Tremors. If you remember the movie Tremors, that was filmed in Alabama Hills. And there's some like really, really interesting rock formations out there. Let's see, what did I miss? Bread pudding. Miguel, what was bread pudding in relation to? And welcome, by the way, Miguel. Good to see you again. Limburger cheese and sardine sandwich. That sounds good, actually. John, I would put it on like on a crusty baguette or something like that. That sounds like it would be really good. Mustard or anything else like that on that, John? BK's apple pie with American cheese is good. Yeah, it probably is. My top 5. Oh, okay. Let's see. My top 5. Your top 5. What? Oh, your top 5 is going to be trains, or train museums or train parks. I think that's going to be your top 5. Silver Falls is pretty. Oh, Tibalt, you've been to Silver Falls. Yeah, it is. It is amazing. It really is. Are you trying snacks today? I missed the beginning. Yes, Jessica. We haven't even opened them yet because we've been going to the list and everything. So we're going as we go. So it is the Mexican bread pudding soaked in piloncillo, water with cinnamon, clove, raisins, peanuts, and some people put cheese in it. That sounds really good, Eli. Ooh. We're gonna have to do that. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna try to find that. It's got it. I'm in LA. They have to have that out here. I'm gonna have to try that. So thank you for suggesting that. We're gonna do that. Okay, number 4 on the list of top 5 natural areas, Diamond Head. So those who don't know, Diamond Head is in Honolulu, Hawaii. You've seen it. If you've seen the landscape of Diamond Head, it's that big, it's like a big kind of pointed rock that goes up. Well, that's actually the what's left of an old volcano. So you can actually walk up to the top, the top crested point. There's a series of steps and ladders and stuff like that. You have to go up there. There are a lot of bunkers up there from World War II. They had like concrete bunkers and everything, and you can go inside the bunkers and everything, and the view is spectacular from on top of it. But it's really weird because to get in, you walk across the crater. the inside of the crater. The inside of the crater, over years, it's like grasses and bushes and trees and stuff like that in the middle in the crater. But it's just fascinating, and it commands an excellent view of the city. So Diamond Head, if you're in Hawaii, if you're in Honolulu, you got to hike Diamond Head. Number 5, Petrified Forest National Park in Arizona. It's truly amazing that there's a petrified forest in, I want to say, Calistoga, California, but it's on a much, much smaller level. So basically what happened was long time ago, there was a volcanic eruption or, something cataclysmic like that. Either comet or a meteor or volcanic eruption, and it basically knocked down a bunch of trees and covered them with ash. This is like, we're talking about millions and millions of years ago. And so eventually, underneath that ash, the trees turned to wood. And so when you drive through the park, there's just like these trees. They just look like tree trunks, but they're actually made out of stone because it is petrified wood. It's a fantastic, amazing trip. So if you're going through Arizona, I think it's off I-40. If you're heading across Arizona on I-40, definitely worth a stop to the Petrified Forest. Also, in a lot of the towns that are near the Petrified Forest, you can go in there if you're like a rock hound and you want to get different kinds of rocks and gems and minerals and stuff like that. You can do that, and fossils. You can do that there. Bottom of the barrel, I was going to say Salton Sea, California. Now, the thing is, it doesn't mean I don't want you to visit Salton Sea, California. But Salton Sea, California, in the 1950s, it was a place where people went to, it was like the hot and happening place, and people would water ski and everything else like that. Well, eventually, there was runoff from the farms that polluted the water. All the fish died. The water had receded, and the salinity level grew, and so like everything died. So it's like it's death when you go out there. Most of the towns that were thriving towns along the side of it are not very thriving anymore. And there's like they say that when the sand is blowing around and everything, that the air is kind of toxic to breathe in on a regular basis and everything. But there are some art communities out there, and it's interesting to see the people surviving through that. But it can be kind of a depressing place, Salton Sea. So that's why it's in the bottom of the barrel, but it's not. It doesn't mean it's not worth a visit. It absolutely is. But just as long as you go with that mindset that it can be kind of a depressing thing to see. So that's why it's in the bottom of the barrel. Let me get caught up here, and then we'll head into our snacks. So Four Corners. So I assume you're talking about where Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona meet. That's what you're talking about, Four Corners? I've not been there, but I would love to visit there, Four Corners. Right? I think you can. I think there's a place where you can actually stand and straddle. Well, I was going to say 4 states. You can probably only do 2 at a time, because it comes to a corner. But I think that's what you mean by Four Corners. Me, Metal Mike, if I'm not mistaken. Arizona Canyonlands. Are you talking about like Grand Canyon and Copper Canyon, or some of the other canyons as well? Appalachian Trail, Lake Superior. I've only seen Lake Superior from the shore of Chicago. That's the only time I've seen Lake Superior. And Great Salt Lake. Yeah, have I driven across Great Salt Lake? Yeah, I was going to Colorado through Salt Lake City. So I have seen Great Salt Lake. It is really impressive. Hey, Julie Couture, just popping to say hi. I'm driving today to see my friend. Have a great weekend. Oh, well, okay, Julie. Well, I'm glad you stopped in. Those of you out there will see more of Julie. I think we got some more episodes coming up where Julie's doing them, and then we yesterday filmed our Easter episode. So Julie will be in our Easter episode as well. The Frio River, Pearsall, Texas. I'm trying to think if I've been by the Frio River because it sounds really, really familiar. I'll have to check that out, John. That sounds really, really familiar. Like I feel like I've been there before. Let's start into our snacks. So as long as Julie's here for now, we'll do this one next. We'll do this one first. So she did, if you guys saw, she did a healthy vegan snack episode, and she did one of these rind snacks. And basically what it is it's fruit that they leave the peel on, and then they, I guess, dry it or whatever it is they do to it. So this is it's called Orchard, and it's a combination of sweet persimmon, tangy, I said that and it didn't sound right for some reason. Tangy peach and red apple. So it's persimmon, peach, and apple, all with the skin on them. And I guess they're dried. And I don't think they add anything to it. Ingredients: dried peaches, dried apples, dried persimmons. That's it. So let's give this a shot. It smells fruity. So let's see. This is, what is this? I'm going to say that's a persimmon. That is a big persimmon, though, because we have persimmon, peach, and apple. And it's definitely not an apple. I don't think it's a peach. I think that's a persimmon. So let's take a bite of that. I like the texture. It's chewy, but it's not quite jerky chewy. But then it's not fruit roll up. It's like denser and chewy than fruit roll up. Then because there's nothing added to this, you're just getting the pure flavor of the fruit. That's really, really good. And you would think that the rind would be chewy and hard to eat. It's really not. That's really good. So that's the persimmon. Let's see. This looks like, I'm going to guess this is a peach. Really hard to tell. Let's try this. Janice, I've never had dried persimmons before. That was the first time. It's really, really good. Eli, you are correct. We do need that. The thing is, I've never been on, well, I've been on parts of Route 66. So Route 66 starts in Chicago, terminates at Santa Monica Pier. So I've been on various parts. I've been on Route 66 in Williams, Arizona, Route 66 in San Bernardino. I sound like I'm singing the song, but you're absolutely right, Eli. I need to make the, last week we did road trips, top 5 road trips. And I mentioned that it's not on my top 5 because I haven't done that yet. But one of my bucket list items is to do Route 66. So someday we will make that happen. You're absolutely correct, Eli. We do need to do that, and I will make that happen. Hey, Grub Warp has entered the room. Welcome, Grub Warp. So the only thing I haven't had is the apple. Where is the apple? Where would you hide if you were an apple? It's a red apple. I think that's red apple. I really, really like the texture of this. Again, it's not really chewy like jerky. It's not as chewy as jerky, but it's not also like sticky and gummy, like a fruit roll-up. So this is really good. This is outstanding. Really, really good. Julie, if you're still on, those are really good rind. They have a bunch of other ones too. I'm going to try some of the other ones. That's really good. That's outstanding. Thumbs way up. Really good. Oh, you stopped at Uranus Fudge Factory? Oh my God. I love their commercials and stuff. So if you guys have not checked that out, there is the town is called Uranus, right? Grub Warp. And there's a fudge factory in Uranus Fudge Factory in Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Grub Warp? But check them out on Facebook, and you kind of get an idea of it. But it looks like just a fun place. I mean, I don't know that I would order it online. I think it's like worth a trip going there to do it. But so cool. I took Route 66. Well, how much of Route 66 did you do, Grub Warp? Did you do the whole thing? And I know that in some places it disappears. Like I think in Arizona, some parts turn into I-40. There's some parts of it just don't exist, anything, so it kind of turns into I-40. So I've been to a lot of Route 66 in Arizona only because, like I said, it kind of intertwines with Route 40. But yeah, cool. Hey, Ralph Wiggum has just entered the room. Welcome, Ralph. Good to see you. What is today's adult beverage? Well, I'm not glad you asked. It's okay. I mean, I would say it anyway. No, well, John's here. Ralph, he just hasn't chimed in. I think he's still here. John, if you're here, Ralph is asking for you. No Tom yet, but Tom may not have gotten the memo that we actually started an hour early. So maybe that's what it is. Missouri. Okay, Grubwork. Yeah, that is definitely something that I want to check out. Speaking of Missouri, it's not on here, I don't think. One of the things that I tried to check out twice was Gateway Arch. So if you're not familiar with Gateway Arch, it's in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's supposed to be like the gateway to the west because it's along the Mississippi River, which was the demarcation line. So they have these little electric cars that will take you up to the top where you can actually look out. And I think you stay in the car. So it's not like you get out and you do something. You stay in the car. It kind of goes up one side, up to the top, and then down the other side and everything. So twice I tried to get in there. Tickets were sold out. I could not get in there. So I do need to get back to St. Louis so I can go up Gateway Arch. It's one of the few iconic, I don't want to call it a tourist place. It's really not a roadside attraction kind of thing, but it's one of the few that I have not been to. So I definitely want to check that out. I'm gonna have to go back to St. Louis and do that. So maybe it's worth a stop in Uranus at the time. What toppings would make a normal cheesecake taste odd but tasty? A normal cheesecake, odd but tasty. Oh, durian. Make a durian cheesecake. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Durian cheesecake, Mike. Mustard and olive anchovy sandwich. That sounds good. That doesn't sound crazy. That actually sounds good. I might even have that for lunch. Tom is making Mexican pizza tonight. Oh, okay. We'll definitely check that out. He's got that. He's got like I think like a brick oven. I know he has a smoker. I think he might have a brick oven out in the back as well. So I think he's probably making the pizza in that. So that's worth checking out. Eli, I don't know if you're talking to him. He's not here, but if you're talking to him, ask him if it's same bat time, same bat channel. Mexican pizza gonna be awesome. Yeah, I would think so. All right. So somebody asked about the adult beverage. So let's just get into that. So this is very, very unusual, and you'll notice it's in a little bottle because it's not meant to be drunk in a glass. This is from Colombia. So my sister-in-law Julia brought this back from Colombia for me, and I told her that I would definitely do it on the live stream. This is the brand is Las Margaritas, and it is Sabajón de Feijoa. That's right. I'm trying to pronounce it like Brazilian, and it's not. I mean Portuguese, but it's not Portuguese. It's Spanish, so it says Feijoa. Sabajón de Feijoa. Now Sabajón is an alcoholic drink that is kind of like most people consider it like the Colombian version of eggnog. So it's made with milk, sugar, alcohol, egg yolk, and then some sort of fruit pulp. In this particular case, the feijoa is a fruit. It is a it's not a Caribbean fruit. It is a South American fruit. So it grows in South America, probably in the areas near the Amazon. They call it the pineapple guava and the guava steen, but you almost never see it, like at least in the United States. You don't usually see it. I will try next time I go to Colombia, which is going to be very, 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 very soon. I would try to get one of those fruits and eat one of those fruits because they've not had that before. So anyways, this is meant to be a drink that you drink in shots, sort of like Aguadiente. As a matter of fact, some people say that the alcohol in here is actually from Aguadiente. Some people make it and the alcohol they put in it is Aguadiente. For those who don't know, Aguadiente is it's a white rum that is flavored with anise. And I think if you go back to some of our Colombian episodes, we've actually done, there was one that was like a juice box, and we drank it like a juice box, the Aguadiente. Aguadiente is a social drink. If you get when you get together in gatherings in Colombia,
you'll have a bunch of people, and somebody will bring out a bottle of Aguadiente, and everybody will do shots. And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like rude to say no, thank you. It's like it's a social thing, and you know, in general, people accept that. I have a tendency to accept that a little bit too much, and I end up speaking fluent Spanish and don't realize that I'm doing it. But we're going to do this today. Again, a gift from my sister-in-law, Julia, and let's go ahead and open this up and give it a try. Not too much of a smell. I would think maybe it would have a fruity smell. It doesn't have an alcohol smell or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this Colombian shot glass. So this is from Medellin, which, I mean, honestly, it's a clear shot glass that's put in this nice leather Medellin cover. But let's go ahead and pour ourselves a shot of this. Ooh, that's really, really thick. Did you guys see that? How thick that is? It's really thick. So I am not going to shoot this. I'm not going to do a shot of this. It doesn't say what the alcohol content, like what the ABV is on here. I did not see that. 14%. 14%. That's got a pretty good kick. But I'm going to sip on this. So I'm really interested to see. It's going to be like a sort of like an eggnog with fruity flavor. So cheers, or salud. Wow. There's so much going on in there. The alcohol is really, really strong in there. It's really creamy. It's got really a real kick. It's so odd because you do taste the fruit in there, and it's just so weird because you're thinking it's an eggnog with fruit in it. An eggnog with fruit and alcohol in it. It is a weird thing. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just a really, really, really weird thing. It's like the consistency of Pepto-Bismol. It's the consistent. It doesn't taste like Pepto-Bismol, but it's the consistency of Pepto-Bismol. And I know you guys know what the consistency of Pepto-Bismol is. That has an alcohol kick, though. You can feel that the vapors. You can feel the vapors in your throat, the alcohol vapors in your throat. It's really good. It's delicious. It's fruity. I can see, in some fruity drinks, like if you go to Pat O'Brien's in New Orleans and you get a hurricane, because it's fruity, you don't taste all the alcohol in it. And you have a tendency to drink it really fast and maybe even get a second one, like somebody I know, whose name I won't mention, and get trashed really easy. This one is not as insidious because you definitely taste the alcohol in there. You definitely get that alcohol burn, that alcohol kick from there. But you also get that kind of eggnog flavor, and you get that fruity flavor, and all mixed together. It's really, really bizarre thing. I have not seen that available here anywhere, but yeah, that's really good. I know why they put it in a tiny bottle now. So that is our adult beverage. I'm going to kind of sip on that a little bit, as opposed to shooting it. So I'm gonna top it off, and as we go, I'll just sip on it a little bit because that's 14%. That's pretty strong. Pretty strong stuff. Kumquats and Limburger cheese sandwich. All right, so John, that one just seems maybe a little bit contrived because why would you put kumquats in a sandwich? It's like would you ever put oranges in a sandwich? Well, that's an interesting question. Has anybody ever put oranges in a sandwich? It could be a thing. I don't know. It could very well be a thing. Shout out to Bar S for making cheap yet decent hot dogs. You are absolutely correct, Eli. Because the thing is, Bar S, you can get Bar S at the dollar stores. Any of the dollar stores carry them. A lot of the groceries do too, and it's usually like not a lot of the big grocery stores have them. Like usually the discount grocery stores have them, and so it has a tendency for people kind of turn their nose up at it. So if you go back and look at Matt and I did an episode with Bar S. I want to say there were corn dogs, but there was I'm trying to remember what was special about them. They were the bar-esque corn dogs, and they were actually delicious. I was really, really surprised. I was expecting them to be disgusting, and they were not disgusting. Now, it's funny you mentioned hot dogs, Eli, because I don't know what's going on with hot dogs. Maybe it's just like a supply chain thing in general. But I went to buy hot dogs that are typically about, I think they're the what are the kosher ones? Hebrew National natural hot dogs, and usually they're about $4 a package. And at the big grocery stores, it's close to $7 a package. So I don't know what's going on with hot dogs. I did find some yesterday at Trader Joe's, and they were like $3 something, and I just grabbed a bunch of them because, But I don't understand what's going on. I don't know what like I don't. Maybe they're adding gold flakes to them now or something. But it's $7 for a package of hot dogs. That's pretty crazy. That's insane. Four Loko is 14%. Oh, I didn't know exactly what it was, Miguel. I know that it packs a kick, but it's sort of like those fortified wines, street wines, bum wines. We did an episode on that. Let's go back to our list so we get caught up on that. And what a coincidence, we're on top 5 beers. So our top 5 beers, Trippy Food, Val, top 5 beers. Again, not best, my top 5. And again, not my top 5, just 5 random ones from my top 20 or 30 or whatever it happens to be. Here we go. Number 1. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Do we have any Germans in the room can help me with this? Echt Schlenkerla Robischer Marzen. It is a from Brewery Heller in Germany, and it is a smoked beer. It is amazing. Like if you're a beer connoisseur, it is amazing the smoke flavor in there. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put that in here so you guys can see, and then maybe. I asked if you guys could pronounce it better, but I'm not gonna be able to hear you. But that's it right there. What I just posted there. That's it. If you can find that and you like beer, find that because that is astounding. It is maybe not life changing, but it's actually pretty good. Eli, I just saw your 14%. I sense a pizza review coming. I don't have any of the hot sauce. I do actually. That hot sauce is in the refrigerator. I could go get it, but I don't have pizza. Hey, Donna Lauderdale has just entered the room. Hello, Donna. Right about as if you didn't get the notification that we were going to do it an hour early. So, but that's okay. That's okay. We still have an hour to go. Yes, Tom, I did start early, and we were just it was funny because we were just mentioning that you weren't here. And we're thinking like, I'll bet you Tom didn't get the notification that we were going to start an hour early. I think that's what it was. But it's okay, Tom, because we got an hour left. Maybe more. No, I can't do any more. Only because today is something very special to do at 2:00, and so I can't extend that. But we'll try to pack as much as we can, Tom. But welcome back to the room. People were asking about you. Glad you liked Schlenkerla. Not too many people know about it. Knew you had to try it. Expensive, but worth trying. Yeah, absolutely. If you get a chance to try it, you should try it. You should definitely try it. It is amazing. It is astounding. It is really, really good. You have to be a beer lover, and over the age of 21. Not to drink it technically, but don't tell me about it if you're going to do that. Doodle, was that you making noises? Maybe not. Okay, number 2, Belching Beaver Brewery's Peanut Butter Milk Stout. It's like chocolate milk good. It's like if beer could be a chocolate milk, that's what Belching Beaver Brewery's Peanut Butter Milk Stout would be. Really, really good. Number 3, Black Butte Porter from Deschutes Brewery. Nothing weird or unusual about it. I prefer porters and stouts, and then that one is just a really, really good one. So I like Deschutes Black Butte Porter, and if it's kind of like my go-to when I'm not trying to determine how great a beer is or something. Number 4, Kitsilano Maple Cream Ale from Granville Island Brewing. Now, for those who don't know, Granville Island is in Vancouver. So if you're in the city of Vancouver, you take a bridge over, and underneath the bridge that on the island is where all there's a big marketplace down there, lots of stuff to do, lots of shops and stuff like that, lots of restaurants, and one of the brewery is right there, the Granville Island Brewing, and their Kitsilano Maple Cream Ale, really good. Number 5, Campanology Brewing's Tiramisu Pastry Stout. Now, I think that one was probably on one of our Trippy Food Beer Blasts. I think it was on the one where we had Matt and Lindsay on that one. And I think the three of us absolute thumbs up on that one. It was really good. Now, Campanology Brewery is specifically, they specifically brew for Trader Joe's. So that's where, if you were going to look for this tiramisu pastry stout, you would go to Trader Joe's to find it, because Campanology Brewing just brews for Trader Joe's. But that's definitely worth a try. Bottom of the barrel, literally the bottom of the barrel, literally. Fort Schuyler. Now, a lot of people don't know what Fort Schuyler is because they have not made it since 1992. But it was originally its own company, and then it was bought by West End Brewing, and they maintained it. It was the cheapest, crappiest beer you could possibly imagine. When we were like teenagers, when we got somebody to buy us beer and we had limited funds, we would have them get Fort Schuyler because you could get like a case for like $3 or something like that. Terrible, horrible, very, very, very bad beer. But you cannot enjoy it now because it's not been around since 1992. So that is my my bottom of the barrel. Let's see, what am I missing? Tom is saying that he's making a Mexican style pizza. That's cool. Miguel is mentioning Natural Light, Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor, Voodoo Ranger, and Bud Ice, my top 5. Miguel, funny you mentioned Voodoo Ranger because Claudia, Mrs. Trippy Food, her favorite beer is the Voodoo Ranger. Was it the Voodoo Ranger something haze? It's an IPA, and she loves that. That's her favorite beer. So funny that you mentioned Voodoo Ranger. So that's one. It's one of our favorites. Is it a bridge over troubled waters? No, actually, not in Vancouver, Tom. Let's see, Miguel. We should drink together sometime because I drink a lot of Mickey's Malt Liquor. Yeah. Randy likes Guinness, Foster's, Corona, Moon Pie Special. Moon Pie Special Chocolate is a beer. Oh my God, Randy! I'm gonna see if I can find that. I'll have to check it out. Oh, Doodle's mom might be home. I'm gonna have to check that out. I want to see if they're gonna have that at Total Wine and More. But I'll check that out. Moon Pie Special Chocolate. I've never heard of that. Brandy, I will check that out. Thank you. All right, let's do some more snacks. Val wasn't there. A popular East Coast German beer that was discounted called Unbrauer. Unbrauer? I don't remember Owenbrauer. I remember Lowenbrau. If that's what you're talking about, Lowenbrau. Let it be Lowenbrau. Remember the old TV commercials when they used to do beer TV commercials? Lowenbrau. Is that what you mean, Mike? Mean Metal Mike? Lowenbrau? The L? Yeah, I've had that. Not good. Yes, it's stout. Oh my God, that sounds so good. Brandy, I have to find that now. I have definitely find it. All right, let's do another snack. I'm gonna do these next. This little bag is just so light. I think there's maybe like 3 of them in there. It's from Shrewd Food. And these are protein puffs, but they're brick oven pizza flavored. So we shall see if they are brick oven pizza flavored. Now, if it's brick oven pizza flavored, my guess is there's cheese in there. And if there's cheese in there, my guess is these are not vegan. I don't see how they would be vegan. Let's see. No, they are not. Ingredients: milk, protein isolate, natural pizza seasoning, cheddar cheese powder. Cheddar cheese? Who puts cheddar cheese on a pizza? I mean, I get it. Some people do, but it's, I just don't feel like cheddar cheese belongs in a pizza. Salt, tomato powder, onion powder, sugar, garlic powder, natural flavors. Yeah, I'll bet this is going to taste like pizza. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to open this from the bottom just in case. Yingling Hershey Porter Lager. Mean Metal Mike, I am kicking myself that I can't find that. Is it seasonal, Mike, or can you find it all the time? Because if you can find it all the time, I think on my next trip east, I'm going to hit Philly, and if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to get some of that. But I can't find it anywhere, not even by the case. Ooh, little cheese balls. Always wanted to try Billy beer. It's very expensive if you can find it. From what I understand, it was terrible. But it had Billy Carter's name on it, so everyone bought it up. So I think like the only way you can get it now is and they only made it then. It's not like it was a regular thing. So you could buy it off eBay, but I bet you it's very, very expensive. And if you're going to spend that money on it, it's probably a collectible. So you want to keep the can intact. He didn't like. I had some of that like the cheese powder on my hand. He didn't like it too much. So let us know if you can taste the brick. In here, it's got a weird smell. It smells like foot cheese. It's kind of like if you've ever gotten pizza from like, you okay, Doodle? You all right? Okay. I want to say like Domino's. If you get a pizza from Domino's and it comes in those little packets of the grated cheese, that's kind of what this smells like. It definitely has that foot smell. It's like, I think Limburger has a more pleasant smell than this. That's weird. Let's see. Sometimes you can find that at Beer Mart. It's seasonal for the East Coast. What is that season, Mike? When do they have it on the East Coast? Well, it tastes better than it smells. That's not saying much. There's this grittiness to this. It's not pleasant. It's powdery and gritty. Really gritty. It's like eating fiberglass. And it has a bad smell. So the only pizza taste you get is afterwards. You kind of get that like cafeteria pizza aftertaste. Not good pizza. Well, they don't say it's good pizza, right? I'm going to kind of give this a thumbs down. It's not good. I don't like it. It tastes like bad cheese. It smells bad. The texture is really weird and gritty. Thumbs down. Not really crazy about that. Made by Naked River Brewing Company, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm gonna have to get that, Brandy. I'm gonna see if I can find it, and if I can find it, we'll do it on one of the live streams. Wonder what beer cheese would taste like made with Schlenk Kerala. I bet it would be really good, Eli. I bet it would be delicious. Let's have some more of the Agua Fresca and try to get that taste out of my mouth. That's really bad. I'm going to sneak another snack in, and then we'll go back to our list. So this I got at our local Latin grocery, which is Vallarta supermarkets. This is Gamesa Clásicas. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gamesa is they make a lot of like pastry type stuff. These are Florentinas, milk caramel with it's milk caramel. They're saying dulce de leche, which is the same thing as milk caramel. So I think they're cookies with like a milk caramel filling. Although the picture kind of looks like chocolate. Let's give these a shot. Pizza combos and Pringles taste better. I agree with you. Mike, have you had these? Have you had these before? They're not good. I would agree with you, though. The pizza combos and even the pizza Pringles are much better than that. Maybe don't taste that much like pizza, but are definitely better. All right. I was just afraid of Doodle getting it. Look at it. Is this not the cutest thing you ever saw in your life? It looks like a little tiny apple pie. Look at that. Oh my God, that's adorable. It looks like a little apple pie. I mean, not like a McDonald's little apple pie. I mean, like it looks like a miniaturized apple pie. That's the cutest thing I ever saw in my life. All right, here we go. Miguel, yes, it's an Italian beer. It's okay. It's not terrible, but it's also not one of my favorites. But I have had it, yeah. I've had those Gamesa snacks after a long night of pizza reviewing. You're talking about like Las Vegas pizza reviewing? It's actually pretty tasty. I'm not a big fan of caramel. And dulce de leche is like caramel itself is just sugar with water boiled down to it like a thickness. That's all caramel is. But dulce de leche is usually add something like condensed milk to it and everything. And I'm not a big fan of caramel, but this is like really good. Thumbs up. That's delicious. Val, I recommend you eating rotten olives. Well, if that's the case, then I recommend you eating something, but I can't say it here because this is a family-friendly channel. Could Val bake a mini apple pie? Probably. I need a mini pie pan. And I suppose I would have to roll the dough thinner, much, much thinner than typically we'd use. A mini apple pie, that would be the cutest thing ever. The cutest thing and the best. All right, let's jump back into our list because we have an hour left, or maybe 50 minutes. It's okay. Top 5 museums. Top 5 museums. Let's see if you guys share my love of these museums, and or if you have something else that's different, or if you disagree with me, that's okay too. So number 1, the Museum of Jurassic Technology in Culver City, California. It would be very difficult for me to describe this museum to you. I am trying to work with them on doing a Trippy Food episode there, and then you will see exactly why I love this museum so much. If P.T. Barnum opened a museum, that would be the Museum of Jurassic Technology. However, there's also a lot of legit stuff there too. So, but it's all kind of mixed together, so it's really hard to tell. It's done amazing. It's a very, very tiny place too, but it's awesome. Love it. We love you too, John. Oh, Hakaro. No, I have not tried Hakaro because I have not been able to get in touch. I have not been able to get it. Now, it's funny because LA Beast, I think his most recent episode, he was doing a gauntlet of a bunch of different unusual foods, and one of the ones he had was Hakaro. And I asked him, where he got it and how much it was, and I think he said it was like $80. About $80 to get the Hakaro, and he had it shipped here, but he says they had some shipping problems and they kind of had to sneak it in and call it something else and whatever. But he did Hakaro there. I definitely, it's on my bucket list to try, but I have not tried Hakaro yet. Yeah, it's Greenland shark that's fermented because you can't eat. You couldn't like cook Greenland shark and eat it; it would be toxic. So you have to ferment it. You have to they hang the shark in these sheds and let them ferment it. They say that if you're driving into a town where they're making it, you can smell it for a mile away before you actually get there. But again, it's on my bucket list to definitely try Hakaro. You've been to the National Atomic Testing Museum in Las Vegas. I've always wanted to go. I have not. I have also not been to the Neon Museum. I think that's what they call it, the Neon Museum, or the Neon Graveyard or Boneyard, which is basically a lot of the old neon signs from Las Vegas in a museum format. We were going to do that when I went out there with Reckless Eating. We just didn't have time to do that. So again, that's on our bucket list. Might as well add the Atomic Testing Museum to that. We'll do that, definitely do that. Hakaro Strumming Limburger salad with a durian shake. Yeah, if you don't want people to go near you for about a week. I mean, why would you put that in a shake, though? I mean, I would think it'd be more interesting to make a dish out of that than to put it in a shake, right? Oh, are you talking about eating the Hakaro, the Strumming, and the Limburger, and then rinsing it down with a durian shake? If that's what you're talking about, that would make more sense. But it seems like it would be more interesting if you took those 4 ingredients and instead of doing a durian shake, you added the durian to whatever dish you were making. Maybe a pie with Hakaro, Strumming, Limburger, and durian. That sounds frightening. I might have to do that. Science and Energy in Oak Ridge, Tennessee just relocated it. Oh, it used to be in Tennessee and they moved it to Las Vegas? That's interesting. YouTube didn't accept my museums. Didn't it? Seriously? What? Wow. That's interesting. You'll have to send me an email and let me know what you were putting in there that YouTube wouldn't let you put in. That is bizarre. All right. So number 1, Museum of Jurassic Technology in Culver City, California. Number 2, the Louvre. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong because I'm not really good at French. The Louvre in Paris, France. That's because foot, they have some of the most amazing art in the world and some of the most familiar. The Winged Victory at Thermopylae, I think is how it's pronounced. You've seen the statue. It has the wings, doesn't have arms. It's kind of old. The Venus de Milo is there. The Mona Lisa is there. So it's it's amazing. When I was there, I had like an hour. I had like an hour max before they closed, an hour to get through there. So basically, looked at the map and I go, I want to see that. I want to see that one. I want to see that. We were just kind of like shooting over to see all the things that we wanted to see. But it's a pretty impressive and amazing museum. Number 3, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. What makes that such an amazing museum is that it is a Venetian castle that was shipped brick by brick to Boston and reassembled in the Back Bay, and it is filled with so much historic, memorabilia and stuff like that. It's really beautiful. There's an inside courtyard in the middle, and they do string quartet concerts and everything. Amazing museum. Number 4, the Mutter, I think it's Mutter, the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That one is amazing. So it's basically a medical science museum, and so there's like heads in jars and babies with 2 heads and all kinds, like the world's largest colon, distended colon and stuff like that. The soap lady was like a woman whose body had turned to soap, and they still have that there. A real kind of like if you are squeamish, do not go to the Mutter Museum. But if you can handle that, it's an amazing, amazing museum. Mike, have you been there? Have you been to the Mutter Museum? You said Lincoln Museum, number 4, and Sacramento Railroad Museum. No. Yeah, we got to do the Sacramento thing, though. We got to make that happen. I want to sculpt a head on a block of cheddar cheese and call it the Mona Chisa. Do it. I want to see pictures. New York City art. Delaware Nature Museum, Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. I haven't been to either of those two. That's interesting. 5, Great Lakes Shipwrecks Museum. I bet that would be cool. Railroad Museum in Sacramento, California. That's on Tybalt. That is on our list for the next when we do a WeGo main show road trip to Sacramento. So that's on our list. And then number 5, the Smithsonian National Museum of American History. It was kind of a toss-up on that one because the Air and Space Museum is amazing too. Both are amazing, but the National Museum of American History is awesome because it is if you want to get a feel for American culture, like throughout the ages, but especially 20th century, Smithsonian National Museum of American History. And as far as I remember, if I'm not mistaken, all the Smithsonian museums are free. So you plan at least a week if you're going to go to multiple museums and everything, because it would take you that long to see them. Bottom of the barrel, Stark's Vacuum Museum in Portland, Oregon. In short, it sucks. Get it? Stark's Vacuum Museum. It sucks. Essentially, they have a bunch of like old vacuums throughout the ages and everything, but it's a little bit bigger than this room, and they're just lined up vacuum cleaners. So it kind of sucks. It's not a great museum. Franklin Institute Museum in Philadelphia. I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to check that one out. Been to a few of the Smithsonian's. Yeah, me too, Janice. I think I've been to 3. I've been to the Natural History Museum, the American History Museum, and the Air and Space Museum. And the thing is, it's because how long are you going to be in Washington, D.C.? It takes you almost the whole day to go through one of those museums. So let's do some more snacks while we're at it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the pickle shots. So again, this is Mount Olive Pickle Juicers is what they call it. And basically, it's a shot of pickle brine. So we are going to do that. I didn't know whether to classify that as a soft drink or a snack. I didn't know, so I didn't classify it as either. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. Nutrition facts: calories 0. I bet it's salty as hell though. Ingredients: water, vinegar, sea salt, natural flavor, and turmeric for color. Turmeric for color. So it's going to be a yellow or orange color, which is turmeric is. We need a Trippy Food Museum with Jeff Butte as co-curator. There's the Trippy Food Museum right there. That's it. That's all we got right now. All right, let's see. Let's do us a pickle shot. I guess you could use this to do a pickleback, right? You guys know picklebacks? Like if you're having a drink with a pickleback, I think it's like a shot of pickle brine. Now, again, if you have not had Mount Olive's like pickle relish or pickles, their pickles are okay. I think we used the Mount Olive bread and butter pickles for when I did the all that pickle stuff and the mean foods we did with Matt. But their pickle relish, they're just plain pickle relish, really really good. The pickles are still like crispy. And fresh tasting and flavorful. So like if you're going to get relish and you see Mount Olive, get that. It's really good. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put this in a shot glass because you can't see it. It's one of those opaque wrappers. Does that look like turmeric colored? It does not. I'm going to drink this whole thing because, it's not, it has no alcohol in it. It is a shot of pickle brine. So I'm going to drink this whole thing. It smells like pickles. Let's do a taste first. Tastes like pickles. Salty. Tastes like pickle juice. I think there's some health benefit to that. Anything that's fermented, there's a health benefit to that. Like drinking vinegar, there's a health benefit to that. I guess it helps if you like pickles and it has that pickle taste. That's helpful. That's kind of a plus. So I'm gonna get a thumbs up on that one. I don't know, like, could you make an alcoholic beverage from that or not? But there we go. Snack beverage. I don't know, maybe the same thing. It is not well known, but the Petaluma Collective Militaria Mall Museum in Petaluma, California is amazing. It's all donated. The tour and stories were shocking at times. I will have to check that out too, Tybalt, because I'm in California. I like to brine chicken in pickle juice. To do what with it though? It's like, so you're talking about like before you cook it, whatever you do, you just brine it in pickle juice? I think that would work. I had the pickle juice slush at Sonic a few years ago. I did too, Janice, but I wasn't not impressed by it. I was not getting like a really strong pickle taste from that. So I don't know what the deal is. I think the pickle juice is supposed to be good if you have leg cramps when you run. Oh, that's interesting. And like I said, I know that they have drinking vinegar that's supposed to be good for you and everything. So let's get back into our lists, shall we? Because time's wasting. We got about just a little over half an hour left. So we are now going into our top 5 sandwiches. And I think this was a request from last week. Somebody had asked us to do top 5 sandwiches. So we are doing top 5 sandwiches. And these are, again, my top 5, maybe not yours. And I'm not saying they're the best. I'm just saying it's my top 5. So, and it's out of a larger group. Val, would you ride a roller coaster with a blindfold on? Why not? I mean, I don't see why not, but I would want to enjoy the roller coaster without the blindfold on. I mean, part of the thrill about riding a roller coaster is seeing everything turning upside down and everything. So, I mean, if that was a thing and people were going like, "Hey, why don't you ride a roller coaster with blindfold?" I would do it, but I would just, I would just think, I don't know. I like to ride the roller coaster without the blindfold on because I just like seeing things turn in different directions and everything. So yeah, I don't see why not. Pickle juice has a lot of potassium that helps to prevent cramps. Same thing as eating a banana. Oh, I did not know that. So Janice is right, of course. All right, top 5 sandwiches. Ever hear of Space Mountain? I've been on Space Mountain. So yeah, I've heard of it. But you're not wearing a blindfold. It's just dark in there. It's not totally dark. You can still see in there. It's supposed to look like stars and stuff in there. So it's not totally dark. You can see in there, but it's not pitch black. Let's put it that way. Top 5 sandwiches. The Grilled Charlie. So for those who are not familiar with the Grilled Charlie, it is a sandwich that they eat on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And it is something that we did. I think it was on Reckless Eating. We did it. So Matt came over here and we made the Grilled Charlie. So the Grilled Charlie is cheese, peanut butter, chocolate syrup, and butter. But the order makes a difference. I'm trying to remember I think it's peanut butter on the outside, if I'm not mistaken. And then on the inside, chocolate syrup and butter. And then grilled. I think that's what it was. I don't remember exactly. You're gonna have to go back and look at the Reckless Eating episode on it. The Grilled Charlie sounded disgusting, and it actually turned out to be really, really good. So Go figure, they made it up for a TV show, but it actually turned out to be pretty good. The Grilled Charlie. Number two, the Chicken Barb. The Chicken Barb, if you're not familiar with it, is a sandwich that is native to the Merrimack Valley in Massachusetts, Lowell, Methuen, that area. It's been around since the 1940s, I think, but it's not really popular. You don't find a lot of places that do it. Very, very few people do it. This is a very, very interesting sandwich. Now, it's called the Chicken Barb, so the assumption is that it's barbecue chicken. It's not barbecue chicken. It's pressure-cooked chicken, and it's like pulled chicken, like, sort of like pulled pork on a bun. It's really, really good. But I lived in Massachusetts for almost 30 years, and I had not heard of it until recently. So we did do an episode, I think it was last year, we did an episode on the Chicken Barb, so definitely check that out, get an idea of it. Now, trying to pick a Massachusetts sandwich is difficult because there are so many unique sandwiches in Massachusetts that people in a lot of other parts of the country have not heard of. The Fluffernutter, the chop suey sandwich from Salem Low, which is on our Halloween episode, our most recent Halloween episode. We had a chop suey sandwich from Salem Low's in Salem, Massachusetts, and North Shore beefs, which are legendary, like the North Shore beef or a roast beef sandwich was invented at Kelly's in the 1950s. And then there's a whole bunch of places. It's like a war on who makes the best North Shore roast beef sandwich. I think Arby's started in Ohio, but I don't know if they try to do theirs like North Shore Boston and everything. So it's really hard to pick a Massachusetts sandwich, but we picked the Chicken Barb. Likewise, number 3 is the lamb French dip sandwich at Kohl's in Los Angeles, California. Now, I personally like. There's that big battle of who invented the French dip sandwich, Kohl's or Felipe. Felipe has a French name. My money is that they invented a French dip sandwich, but both of them claim to have invented the French dip sandwich both at the same time. The reason that I picked Kohl's I like going to Philippe's. It's really, really blue collar, old wooden benches, sawdust on the floor. It's deli style. You go up to the counter, you order what you want. They have potato salad. They have pickled eggs, all kinds of deli stuff. They have I used to have like a 9-cent cup of coffee. I think it's up to like 30 something cents now for a cup of coffee. So I just love that place. But Kohl's, I have to admit that I think I like the sandwich better. They put more meat in it. It's more expensive. They put more meat in it. And the meat is like, I think, more tender and everything. So I kind of like the sandwich better at Kohl's, but I'm always going to go back to Philippe's instead. But the French dip sandwich. The other odd thing about the French dip sandwich is when people talk about local cuisine, like what is the cuisine that your area is famous for that you can't get anywhere else? Like Rochester trash plate. Or North Carolina liver mush, something along those lines. What is the thing that's that's local and everything? And then LA always says tacos. It's like, no, LA tacos are a Mexican thing. It's not tacos. They always just kind of like, no one mentions the French dip sandwich when the French dip sandwich is just a really iconic sandwich from Los Angeles. I don't know why they don't mention it, but LA foodies, go figure. Also in Los Angeles, the number 19 at Langer's Deli in Los Angeles. Langer's is a really good deli to where I think they could go against New York delis. Now, I know that could start a war with New Yorkers and everything, but it is actually really, really good. It is New York deli quality deli, right? And their number 19 sandwich is pastrami, coleslaw, Swiss cheese, and Russian dressing and everything. Amazing. I think they do it on like a marbled rye, if I'm not mistaken. Everything really, really good. The number 19 at Langer's Deli. And number 5 of my favorite sandwiches, the top 5, is Trust the Cook. The name of the sandwich is Trust the Cook at Pasadena Sandwich Company in Pasadena, California. Now, what Trust the Cook is you go in there and you order Trust the Cook, and he makes whatever he does. Now, if you have not seen, I think we did an episode. At Pasadena Sandwich Company. The sandwiches are like this. They usually use like a white bread, sliced bread, and the sandwich is about that thick. and it has like layers and layers of other. So trust the cook just means you're telling the cook, make me whatever you want, put whatever you want in this sandwich and everything. And it's always a surprise, and it's always interesting, and it's always fascinating and everything. So the trust the cook at Pasadena Sandwich Company. Bottom of the barrel, this one's really easy. The bottom of the barrel is the barbecue rib sandwich at AM/PM, which is a convenience store at a gas station. The barbecue rib sandwich at AM/PM in Los Angeles. We did an episode of that with DJ, my grandson. You can watch that episode. You know that when a barbecue rib sandwich makes a McDonald's McRib look delicious, that you have serious problems. So yeah, bottom of the barrel barbecue rib sandwich at AM/PM. Now, what did I miss here? Spaghetti sandwich. I've never had that. I don't know, is that a thing, or are you just making a suggestion? Because I've never heard of a spaghetti sandwich. You're mixing starches with starches, like the bread and the pasta. But I suppose it could work. Thanksgiving leftover sandwich is my favorite. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Everything that you have in the Thanksgiving meal, you put that in the sandwich. Yeah, I agree with you completely. Crispy fried bologna on white bread. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom used to make fried bologna for us in the mornings sometimes. Brandy. Absolutely. Yeah. Fried bologna. Great sandwich. Maybe put a slice of American cheese on that. It has to be American cheese. Not everything works there. Meatloaf sandwiches. Yeah, that would work too. Actually, if you go to Europe and you get a burger, usually what you get is like the equivalent of a meatloaf sandwich. No tomato sauce, but you usually get like a meatloaf sandwich because they put other stuff in, eggs and breadcrumbs and stuff like that in it. Really weird. Val found the Starlight Coke. It was awful. Thank you for the warning, Kaylee. Everybody, please welcome Kaylee, the Pokemon Master, back to the room. Good to see you again. Speaking of Taco Bell's trying to enter the Mexican market twice, got rejected each time because, according to Mexicans, it's not authentic Mexican food. Yeah, no kidding. Reviewed the Starlight Coke and found it underwhelming. Everybody is not. I haven't seen anybody that says it's amazing yet. So we'll see. This conversation is making me want to go get a sandwich, bag of chips, and a pickle for lunch now. Do it, Tabo. And let us know what you select. Chip Buddy. Yep, we did that, Janice. We did Tato sandwich. So Tato is a Irish potato chip. We did a Chip Buddy with Tato sandwiches. So I don't think we did it as a St. Patrick's Day episode. I think we just did it as an episode. So Janice, I don't know if you've seen that. If you've seen that, we did that. But yeah, really good. When we were kids, we used to put chips in our tuna fish sandwich. We used to put chips in there. I don't know. Is that a common thing? I think it's a common thing. Let's see. Yeah. So like one of the ones I had to leave out there is like the pastrami dip sandwiches. So like Tops, Lucky Boy, the Hat. It's a local LA area thing. Pastrami dip sandwiches. Those are really good too. But I could only fit 5 in there. Let's see. Am I caught up? Did I miss anything? Please tell me if I missed anything. Let's get some more snacks in. We got about half an hour left. Let's see. Let's do these. So we did. When did we do these? We did them. I want to say in January. I'm pretty sure we did them in January. So we did the Blue Diamond Bold flavors. I think there's 6 altogether, and we did 4 because we could only find 4. And I just recently came across this one, which we didn't do, which is sweet Thai chili flavor. Janice, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you know what they are, and I think you were telling me about this one. So just found the sweet Thai chili. These have been out for a while, probably over a year, but we have not tried this one yet. So I wanted to try this one specifically with you guys. I wanted to share it with you guys. Hey, Steve Russell's in the room. Hey, Steve. Glad you could join us. Best chili cheese dog you've had. Ooh, that's a tough one. Best chili cheese dog. Best chili cheese dog. I have to think about that one for a minute. I want to say, I don't know if it counts as a chili cheese dog, but it has chili and it has cheese in it, is the Okie Dog from Okie Dog in Los Angeles. It's this greasy thing wrapped in a tortilla that will kill you, but it's addictive for some strange reason, Eli. So I think I'm going to go with that for now. I might have had better, but that's the one that sticks out in my mind. Chips and tuna fish makes sense. Favorite snack is a tuna mix and eating it with wheat thins. Ooh, that sounds good too. Want to try those almonds? Well, let's try them first, and then we'll see if you still want to try them. Bugles are also good with tuna. They're good for putting on your fingers. I found the bold ones not to be as good as the extreme almonds. Yeah, I agree with you, Janice. Ooh, these have some flavor though. Not so much the heat, the flavor itself. Really, really nice mix of spices in there. I like these. Again, if I was going to eat these for the heat, I'd be a thumbs down. But the flavor, I really like the flavor. What did you think? Did you try these ones, Janice? The Thai, sweet Thai chili? These are really good. Really, really good. I think they're my favorite. Again, if they were going for heat, they lost. But let's squeeze another snack in. Oh, I think we're caught up. It might be. All right. Oh, no, let's do this one. Let's do this one because I don't want this to sit out. So I am convinced that Trader Joe's bought a ship full of everything but the bagel seasoning. And so they put it on everything. So I think we did everything but the bagel chips maybe last time. But I saw this, everything but the bagel seasoned smoked salmon. Who puts the seasoning on the salmon? Like, if you're going to do bagel and lox, you're going to put this on a bagel. Maybe you put it on everything but the bagel. Why would you put the stuff that you put on the bagel on the fish and then not? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you really wanted to do this, you'd put it on the bagel, right? Really weird that they're doing this. But again, Trader Joe's, always interesting, always different. How do you open this thing? I don't see how you open it. It doesn't tell you how to open it. Maybe it peels open? It does. It peels open. All right, here we go. Val, I just found online banana bread beer. Try it, John. It is really, really good. It tastes just like banana bread. I swear to God. It used to be Young's, and I think it's called Eagle now, John. But definitely try that. I recommend that. Smells nice. When I got that pepper smell. See if we can get a small piece of it. Is that like a whole? That's a whole big piece right there. Let's just get a piece of that. Just eat it as is. It's kind of a weird combination. The salmon's pretty good. Salmon would dress as a plain bagel. It's just really weird. It tastes like you ordered bagel and lox and you said put that on an everything bagel, and then they forgot to give you the bagel. And they gave you everything else. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I mean, like I said, it's good. And the different flavors in there, like you got sesame, garlic, poppy seed, onion. The flavors are kind of nice with that, but of course they're nice with that. You would eat a bagel like that. So here's what we're gonna do. I have a slice of Jewish rye, and so when I'm gonna let me do this, we have some cream cheese. Put the cream cheese on there. This is that whipped cream cheese. It's really weird. No, do what you got to do though. Okay. It would help if I used the right side of the knife. This is good because I didn't have breakfast. That can be my breakfast. I'm having breakfast for lunch. But who hasn't had breakfast for dinner, right? Scrambled eggs for dinner? Anybody? All right, let's put a piece of this on there. They only give you 2 pieces? Is that it? I'll give you a lot. Okay, let's see. We got coverage here. I'm going to put another piece on there. We get 2 pieces. All right. That salmon is probably for those who are on a keto diet. Yeah, so basically, like, oh, I can't have the bagel. Can I have the stuff that's on the bagel? And just put it right on the salmon? It doesn't say keto on it, though. But, whatever. And we can't forget our red onions. Well, we can, but we're not going to. Let's put some red onion on there. There we go. So no bagel, Jewish rye bread. What am I missing here? One of my favorite things on earth are charro beans. I haven't had those in a long time. Should as well. I found the bowl ones not to be good. Oh, we already hit that. Missed the snack as had to go. That's okay. We didn't eat it yet, Brandy. That's okay. Josh Gruber has entered the room. Welcome, Josh. Good to see you again. Let's go ahead and take a bite. With the cream cheese and the onion and the bread, the seasoning disappears. So you don't get as much of that seasoning flavor as you would if you were eating that on an everything bagel. I think that the scientists at Trader Joe's were so preoccupied with making this, with whether they could make this, that they didn't stop to think if they should. It's a pretty good sandwich, but it's not an improvement over that same sandwich without the salmon with the everything seasoning on it. So I'm gonna kind of give it a thumbs down because it's unnecessary. Unless you're just eating a salmon by itself, it's slightly different, but salmon has a strong taste, and so you don't really taste the seasoning the way you would if it was on the outside of the bagel and you had it on your tongue. I'm gonna kind of give it a thumbs down, I think. Pizza bagels or jalapeno bagels are amazing. I agree. Let's see. Breakfast for dinner is always a good change. Breakfast foods anytime are epic. Lemon dill. Lemon dill what, Josh? Not a fan of McDonald's, but a deep fried Big Mac. Wait, you're talking about just taking a Big Mac home and deep frying it? Do you batter it first, or you just put it right in the deep fryer, Eli? How is that? How do you do that? You batter it and then put it in a Big Mac? If you were going to batter it, what kind of batter would you use? And would you coat it? Would you breadcrumb it as well? It's not fake salmon. It's just, like I said, it's like you ordered salmon on an everything bagel, and then they forgot to give you the bagel. That's kind of weird. Salmon has a lot of fat. Yeah, and it has omega-3. It has some good stuff for you too. I mean, anything in moderation is good. All right, let's go back to our lists. See, we have about 15 minutes left. I think we have one snack left after this. We do. We have one snack left. So we're doing good. We're doing good on time. I'm going to have another sip of that Colombian eggnog, fruity eggnog, snacky thingy. That's so good. Okay, we did sandwiches. Let's jump to top 5 restaurants. And again, they're my top 5. They're some of my favorites. Sometimes it's the experience over the food. Sometimes it's the food over the experience. Sometimes it's a combination of things, all those things put together. So my top 5 restaurants. Number 1, Restaurante de Sobrino de Botín in Madrid, Spain. The oldest restaurant in the world. It was open. It's in continuous operation. It was opened in 1725. And it's just amazing. Their specialty is the suckling pig, but they do things like baby eel and stuff like that. And then the people there are just so nice. It's very, 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 very old. And they haven't done a lot of modern improvements to it. But they tell you, oh, yeah, walk around, go downstairs, go into the wine cellar and everything. You go into the wine cellar, you see these bottles of wine with dust all over them. They've been there for decades, probably untouched. You get to go in that the kitchen area where they're roasting the suckling pig in these kind of brick ovens and stuff like that. It's just, the food is really good. The The atmosphere is really good and everything. So yeah, that's in my top 10, my top 5. Number 2, Casa Santa Clara on Monserrate in Bogota, Colombia. So it is on top of the mountain. It is in this white, looks like a house. It might have been like a convent or something like that at some point in time, because there's a church on top of Monserrate. The church is called Monserrate, I think. Monserrate, for those who don't know, it is a hill or mountain, if you will. It is 1,000 feet above the city of Bogota. Now, Bogota itself is 9,000 feet above sea level, and then you have that hill, the mountain on top of it, Monserrate, which is another 1,000 feet. So you take the gondola up. You can take a gondola, and they also have a funicular you can take up, and then the views up there of the city are breathtaking. But they have this one restaurant, Casa Santa Clara. The prices are really good. The food is amazing, and so like I recommend if you're going to go there that you get the bandeja paisa, which is like kind of the national, the de facto national dish of Colombia. A little bit of everything on it. They have live music, guys playing guitar and singing and everything, and the view's spectacular. So it's just amazing. Great place to take a date if you're going to be in Bogota. Number 3, the 2nd Avenue Deli in New York City. I just can't talk enough of it. It's so hard to pick a good deli in New York, but that's one of my favorites, is the 2nd Avenue Deli in New York. I think they're still open. A lot of some of them have closed. Number 4, Le Bistro Montage. And Le Bistro Montage has closed, but they now have a food cart in Portland. But the vibe there was amazing. It was on the ground floor of a condemned hotel, so all the floors above it were condemned. The art was kind of like, how would I describe it? Kind of like punk Cajun fusion. It's just kind of like the decor in the place was really strange. The people who worked there were kind of really strange and everything. The food was really, really good. You could get like alligator substituted in and some other like exotic meats substituted in for like your jambalaya or your stuff like that. So one of my favorite restaurants. I'll have to go back and check out the cart and see what they have left on the cart, but everything. But I love the restaurant. I love the vibe of the restaurant. Number 5, Joe Beef in Montreal, Quebec. The best restaurants, hand down. I've been anywhere. It's not big. The waiting list it takes months on the waiting list to get into this restaurant. And because I knew somebody who went to butcher school with their butcher and everything, they arranged something for me to be able to come in and sit at the bar, behind the bar, and check it out. It was really amazing. We have not done it on Trippy Food as an episode, but on the Trippy Food blog, we have a blog. Check it out. I mean, seriously, amazing. Bottom of the barrel, the Pantry in Los Angeles. So I think last week we were talking about stuff like Luby's. People were asking about Luby's, Cracker Barrel, Luby's, Landry's. These restaurants, the food, the quality of the food is like a bad cafeteria. That is like the quality of the food. The thing about the Pantry is, I get it. I mean, I get it. It's historic because it's been open since 1925 and it's open 24 hours a day. They've only closed one day since they opened. I think it was 1925. But the food is just not good. Maybe it was at one point in time. I think the problem is that most people go there after they go out partying, and they go there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They're probably still drunk when they're eating the food. And so in their memory, they probably think the food was good. It's not. It's not good. I don't get it. I don't know why foodies make a big deal out of the Pantry. It's not good. It's just not good. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So that is my top 5 restaurants. Doodle did come back. Where did he go? Did he go back out again? I heard him. He was just here a second ago. I don't know. If he comes back in, we'll pick him up again. My favorite restaurant name ever is Mustard's Last Stand. What do they serve there, Eli? What do they serve at Mustard's Last Stand? That sounds really interesting. Like, do they do mustard dishes? Krill oil is expensive. Omega-3. Yeah, I imagine it would be. Take omega-3 pills and vitamin D3 and zinc and C and K12. Josh, I think they have omega pills that are made from. I think it's made from salmon. I think, but I like salmon toast with butter, onions, dill, and lemon juice. Oh, that does sound good, Josh. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have me another bite. And let's open our last snack. I love salmon. I mean, smoked salmon. That's just so good. Never been, just heard about it. It was in Colorado. Maybe Tom knows about it. Tom, have you heard about that? Mustard's Last Stand? Tom, you still there? All right. So here's our last snack, also from Trader Joe's. And if you guys don't remember me mentioning last week, it seems like we get a lot of stuff from Trader Joe's, but it seems like Trader Joe's has a lot of the more unusual and interesting things. They're pretty good about coming out with these unusual things, and this is one of them. Problem is, I just took a bite of that, and I'm getting onion. I need to get rid of that onion. What's going to get rid of the onion? Let's see. How about another persimmon? Oh, you have been to Mustard's Last Stand. Well, what can you tell us about it, Tom? What can you tell us about Mustard's Last Stand? That's so good. I really like that. Let's jump into the next one. While we're doing this, top 5 parks. My top 5 favorite parks. So that could be a city park, could be a national park. Number 1, Mill Ends Park in Portland, Oregon. Now, for those of you who don't know what Mill Ends Park is, we talk a lot about it. I know that. For those who aren't familiar with Mill Ends Park, it is the world's smallest park. When I first went there, when I was living in Portland, when I first went there, it's down off by the waterfront, and it is perpendicular to Tom McCall Waterfront Park. So when I get down to the street, I'm looking over and I see Tom McCall Waterfront Park. It's this huge green belt, and I'm looking at it going, "There's no way that's the world's smallest park. How is that even possible? That's the world's smallest park." And then I look down, and I see this round planter with some plants in it and like a baby tree, and I go, no. And yes, it was the world's smallest park. They were originally going to put up a street light there. They never put in the street light, so somebody who worked in the local, I think it was like a newspaper, would come over and plant stuff in it. And so in his honor, when he died, they turned it into a city park. And so now my understanding is they just had to move it because they were doing some work on the Native Parkway. So they just moved it a few inches in. But it looks like they have some new plants and stuff in there. And they have a brand new sign that says Mill Ends Park and everything. So it's pretty cool and a lot of fun to visit. Number 2, Griffith Park in Los Angeles. Griffith Park is so awesome. I'm going to do a Trippy Food episode on it. It's going to take a long time because there's so much interesting and fun stuff to do in Griffith Park. Kind of like Central Park in New York City. A lot of interesting things to do in the park itself because it's huge. They're huge. So Griffith Park in Los Angeles. Number 3, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. Same deal. It's a square flat grid. You know how hilly San Francisco is, but the park is in this. And when I say it's a big grid, they have a buffalo herd there. They have a botanical garden there. It's amazing. Golden Gate Park, Central Park in New York City, which I mentioned previously. They have Tavern on the Green, which did not make my list of top 5 restaurants. And Brackenridge Park in San Antonio. Same deal. All very, very large. Most of those are city. I think they're all city parks. They are all city parks. Brackenridge Park in San Antonio, they have the San Antonio Zoo is there. They have one of those little trains that you can ride around, those little mini trains that you can ride around on. Bottom of the barrel, I did not do a bottom of the barrel city park. You guys can pick one because it'll be some crappy paved over thing with a rusty swing set or something like that. And they're everywhere. They're dotted everywhere. So, but I don't have a lot of personal experience with that, so I didn't do a bottom of the barrel for top 5 parks. Let's eat some of this. So these are peanut butter cocoa marshmallows. Not a big fan of marshmallows, but this sounds interesting. Oh, and you know what? They're not. They're really firm. They're not squishy like marshmallows. Been there forever. It's near the CU campus, and they served dog and fries for the most part. Oh, odd name then. Norris Dam best rainbow trout that's edible here. I like rainbow trout too. That's weird. It kind of doesn't have that marshmallow consistency. It seems firmer than marshmallow. It's not light and airy and fluffy. but it's also not like really sweet. So you get mostly the cocoa flavor, I think, and the peanut butter flavor. Peanut butter is overwhelming. Peanut butter is the most prominent flavor in there. I'm not a big fan of marshmallows, but I like these. Tibbo, which park are you talking about? Millens Park are you going to go to? You should. Plan on spending at least 5 minutes there. I was going to say you can walk across the park in 2 seconds. But don't walk across the park. You might knock down the tree. Steve Russell, according to Guinness Book of World Records, Mill Ends Park is the world's smallest park. I don't know if that's changed, unless Berkeley Springs went out of their way to make one smaller. It's Mill Ends Park. Mill Ends Park can't be more than 2 feet across. I mean, that's the whole park. Where did you buy the PB Cocoa Mart? The peanut butter cocoa? Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. So if there's a Trader Joe's near you, they should have these. Mill Ends Park is about 10 minutes from where I'll be next week and have an hour to kill. So perfect. Yeah, you don't even need that whole hour to kill, but you should go. You should definitely go. Let's see. 1:55. I got 5 minutes left. I could. You know what? I'm going to do this. We have a few more. Somebody asked about vegan restaurants. That's one on our list. I have top 5 bars, top 5 soft drinks, but I'm going to do this next one, and then we're going to finish up. So the next one, because you asked for this one as well, this is top 5 barbecue places. So number 1, Cooper's in Llano, and that is my favorite. Cooper's in Llano is my favorite. It might not be as good as like someplace like Franklin or something, but it's outstanding. It's so good. It's the place that George W. Bush, when he was president of the United States, had it flown into the White House. That's how good it is. This was, and I'm talking about back in the 90s, there were like, 1 to 2 hour lines if you didn't get there at the right time. You just go, they open up the pit for you. They say, what do you want? Do you want it dipped? They'll dip it in the sauce for you if you want. They put it on butcher paper on a tray. You go and you sit at a picnic table with everybody else and enjoy it. And it's like, and they had a pork chop that was legendary. Amazing. Number 2, Virgil's Real Barbecue in New York City in Times Square. And I know what you're saying, barbecue in New York City, but here's what they do every year. The guys who own Virgil's do these road trips throughout the United States, and they go to barbecue capitals, and they go to these barbecue places, and they try different things, and then they bring that back and they put it on their menu, and they give them credit as well. So when you get their placemat has the spots from the barbecue places that they're making something similar to it. They have the best Boston baked beans I've ever had in my life. They were like legit Boston baked beans baked in a little bean pot and everything. Amazing. But again, they take barbecue things from different places around the country that are famous for their barbecue, and they bring it there, and it's really, really good. So Virgil, if you're in New York City and you're hankering for some barbecue, go to Virgil's Real Barbecue in Times Square. I swear to God, it's amazing. Number 3, Moonlight Barbecue. The Moonlight Barbecue in Owensboro, Kentucky. Now, I don't know how it's changed. The last time I was there was like 1988, 87 or 88. Owensboro, Kentucky is known for their barbecue mutton. Mutton is a mature sheep. It's amazing. The Moonlight Barbecue, they kind of do things buffet style. There's a huge wheel of cheese. You cut some cheese off that and everything. Amazing. Moonlight Barbecue, Owensboro, Kentucky. I think it's across the river from Evansville, Indiana. So if you fly into Evansville, you just cross the river, go into Owensboro, Kentucky. Moonlight Barbecue. Big Mister's Barbecue and Sandwich Shop in Long Beach unfortunately closed. They closed in 2018, but that man knows how to make brisket. His brisket is legendary. If you have a chance, I think now he was living in he moved to Medford, Oregon for a while, but I understand he just moved to Houston, Texas. So if you are anywhere around where he can make his brisket, you need to try it. I don't know if he's opened a place. He was doing catering for a while. I don't know if he's opened a place in Houston or anything, but Big Mister's, their brisket was amazing. Number 5, Charlie Virgo's Rendezvous, although everyone knows it as The Rendezvous in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, I'm not a big fan of rubbed ribs, I guess ribs, yeah, which is what they're famous for, rub barbecue, Memphis style, rub barbecue ribs. Not a big fan of that style. Then they do it pretty well, But the atmosphere is the cool thing. So what they do is it's this restaurant, this big restaurant, but they lease out the tables. So when you sit at a particular table, you're getting this person who is leasing the table. So everyone has they use a common kitchen, but every table that you're at is leased by somebody. And so it's like a bunch of different restaurants that look like the same restaurant that are inside and everything. It's just a really cool place to go if you're in Memphis, Tennessee. So the Rendezvous. And you got to get the dry rub ribs. And they're, like I said, not a big fan of that style, but they do it really well. And then the bottom of the barrel, Dickey's Barbecue Pit. So Dickey's Barbecue Pit is probably the largest chain barbecue place in the country. It's not great. It's just not good. I've had it in different cities and everything. It's not good. They opened in 1941 by Travis Dickey and it's a huge conglomeration. Maybe that's part of the problem, is that it's such a big chain, but it's just not that great. So all right. So let's see. Did I miss anything? Stand like a hot dog stand. Mustard goes on a hot dog, so mustard's last stand. I get it. It's really awesome to get a little credit to the restaurants and inspire the barbecue dish. Yes. Rocky Top Barbecue. Where in Rocky Top? In Rocky Top, the Rocky Top Barbecue. There's some other really good places I didn't mention. Have a good weekend, Trippy people. See you for the Mexican pizza. Okay, Eli, we're gonna wrap it up here in a second ourselves. Actually, we might as well wrap it up right now, and I will enjoy the rest of this feast. I'm not gonna do the usual thing of putting it together and everything, just because it just seems a little bit complicated. So we won't do that right now. But I think we just have a couple of categories left, so I might just throw those in a regular episode. We might just like bring that up as a topic in regular episode and everything. So I think we're probably finished with our top 5 list, and next week we'll go back to either a theme or a regular live stream. I appreciate you guys. I'm really sorry for those of you who didn't get the notification that we started an hour early, but I appreciate you guys joining anyways. Always have fun. It's always the high point of my day. Love talking to you guys. Love interacting with you guys. It's just I really, really do look forward to it. You could do anything else on a Saturday afternoon, and you choose to spend it with us, and we appreciate that. Again, be sure to check out the channels of even some of the people in the room. Tom, old guy in Colorado, Janice Yamanaka. There's some great channels. If you don't know who those channels are, go to our main page on our YouTube channel. And under featured channels, they're all listed on there. Go check them out. When you do check them out, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click on the like buttons on the videos. It's really important and everything. And let's help build our community, because there's some great people doing some great things. And if you have not subscribed to Trippy Food, please do so. Please subscribe to our channel. It helps us out. Please like the videos, things along those lines. And we really, really, really do appreciate it. So I thank you for joining us once again. This was a little bit of a departure from our usual stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll do some other kind of fun and interesting things in the future. But thank you so much for joining us. But I just wanted to tell you all that I want you to be careful, because it's crazy out there. So please take care of yourselves. Please take care of others. And we will see you soon. Bye, everybody.